Now that I have access to the User Access Management tab, I can control my user's access and permissions from this tab. First, for an overview, we have the All Users tab, which lists out all of our users, and we can see which ones are active and inactive. And we also have a filter here that we can filter out to see which users are active and inactive. We have the Access Management subtab, which gives us our current list of access levels that we have set up. And then we have another subtab called Remove Bulk Access, which allows us to remove access levels in bulk. The first thing we need to do is set up access levels for our practice. So here are some examples I have for RBT access, BCBA access, full admin access. You'll start from scratch and add a new access level here. You'll name it something that makes sense for your practice, for whoever is assigning permissions and activating users. For instance, RBT access will make sense. I can know that any new RBT that I add, I'll give them this access level, and you can add a description if you want as well. Then you'll go through all of these permissions. It starts with modules. You can click and use the arrow to move over the modules that you want your users to have for this access level. So home, scheduler, or clients, as we can see in the background here, they represent these modules in the red Artemis banner. And then additional permissions are here as well. So you will select everything that you want to be part of this access level and then save. After I've created an access level, I can also clone if I want to have one slightly modified access level. Then I can clone it and I can just make a quick change and save under a new access level name. Once I have all of my access levels set up for my practice, then I am ready to start assigning these to my users. When you have a new provider or staff member added to your practice, you will follow the same steps of adding the provider or staff member into the correct tab and use the new button here. And then when you're ready to activate this user and get them logged into Artemis, you'll come over to the User Access Management tab. You will choose Enable User. And then here you can choose from the access levels that you set up to activate the provider. And immediately they will get that activation email so that they can log into Artemis, and they will be able to log in with the permissions that you provided them. Now that we have some access levels set up for your practice, you can go ahead and start assigning these to your existing users as well. Since currently each user will have different permissions, which you can see using the view icon and then assigned access level, it will show that there's no access level assigned if you haven't assigned them one of these in the setup page yet. So these users can already get into Artemis, but we want to standardize the process and have that visibility of what permissions they have. So we recommend assigning the access levels that you created to all of your existing users as well. You can do that by finding the access level you want to assign. I want to assign RBT access. Use the down arrow and choose Assign to User. And here I can search by name, or I can add multiple providers that I want to have this RBT access level, and I can click Assign to assign this access level to multiple users at once. If I have an RBT that had RBT permissions, but has recently gone into a trainee program and is going to be helping with client programming, for instance, I can assign them a new access level, but first I have to delete their current access level. I can do that by finding their name in the list, using the view icon, assigned access level, and then delete assignment. This will delete the current access level for this user. And then I can go back to the Access Management tab where I have my access level options here. And instead of RBT access, I can now assign this person mid-level supervisor access. And they will now have these new updated permissions. You can also edit a current access level that you have set up. Even though there are RBTs under this RBT access level, I can still edit this. If I want all of these RBTs to now have a new access, for instance, deleting appointments, I can make the change to the access level as a whole and update it. And this update of permissions will be applied to all of the users who are within the RBT access level. When it's time to deactivate a provider or staff member, you can do that in the All Users subtab. Here I can see this is the user I want to deactivate. They're currently active with that checkbox here. Once I click Disable User, this person will no longer be able to log into Artemis, and they won't be able to be added to appointments, sessions, or claims. So this is just a caveat that any time you click Disable User, this change will immediately go into place and the user will not be able to log in immediately.